Yeah!
Woo-hoo!
Fights!
Fights.
In the land down under. Yes, UFC 312 goes down in a little while. Frankly, I'm a man who tells the truth. I'm an honest guy. We're starting early because it's my fault. I probably should have looked at the UFC's website. We did lose a fight at weigh-ins, but those weigh-ins also took place like overnight, so kind of slipped my mind. Didn't realize that the card started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern now instead of 6 p.m. Eastern, but we're not going to change anything. We're just going to roll with it. And if we have to go a little bit longer, we'll go a little bit longer. If we need to give you a little bit of a breather ahead of time to grab some food or grab your favorite ice cold beverage before the first fight begins, well, we're going to give you that wiggle room as we welcome you to the People's Pre-Fight Show on this UFC 312 day. I am Mike Heck, and joining me as always, the baddest stash in all of MMA, the man who will take your questions, the baddest producer in the game, and the chair swinging fool himself, Casey Leydon. Where is he? 1, 2 spins and a muted microphone.
Two title fights, 2 spins. Yes, sorry.
Yes. All right. Casey's, I won't say he's excited. He's highly enthused, top to bottom. But the 2 title fights are great.
Great. Wonderful title fights. The rest of the card, yeah, they're fights. But
They are
yeah,
fights.
you know, they're fights.
Yes. But listen, we'll be watching. All the hardcore fans are with us, and they want to ask questions. And that's what we're going to do for the next hour or so. So, Casey, bring on the questions. Of course, super chatters go to the front of the line. You get to pull the velvet rope open while everybody watches you waltz on through and dance the night away with your questions. So here we go. What do we got?
All right. We got a super chat from Last Stand 001.
I wonder if there was a Last Stand 000. Curious if he's out there somewhere. Who scores the first takedown, Zhang Weili or Tatiana Suarez? This is actually a really good question. This is a really good question. I would say Suarez is probably like a minus. Like if there were actual like betting odds on this, I'd say Suarez is like minus 300. But I could see a world where Sean might be a little sneaky sneak and get a little takedown of her own. I'll say, I'm gonna say Zhang Weili gets first takedown.
Ooh. Attempts the first takedown, or actually get the first takedown. Because I can see
Scores the first takedown.
Straight up scores it. Man, what a change in the complexion of the fight. Kind of where you think it could go if Weili ends up getting the first takedown and kind of getting some serious control time. That'll be significant, man. I can't wait for that fight. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Suarez for the first takedown, but I expect Weili to have the first takedown attempt. Just to get Tatiana thinking a little more. But I like this. I like that question. I'm so excited about that fight because I just don't know because they've been kind of so inactive recently, but we know they're both incredibly talented. So yeah, and just obviously a giant jump up in competition for Suarez, but excited about this fight.
And Zhang's been working, guys. I don't know if you caught the interview. Like, she's been working. She was preparing to fight the Valentina Shevchenko Alexa Grasso winner. That's what they wanted. That's what the UFC wanted. That's what Zhang was preparing for. That's why she was at Sphere when that fight was happening. They were going to try to book a fight there, and then it didn't come together. And now she's doing this instead. So it's not like she's been sitting on her ass since April, since she beat Yan Jianan. So injured, I think she's actually been, I think she's actually probably been more active in the gym than maybe Suarez, but I don't know for sure. So let me ask you this. True or false? Tatiana Suarez scores on her first takedown opportunity. She shoots. Does she get it?
I'm going to go false. I'm going to go false on that.
I agree. And that to me, if like Tatiana has a beautifully timed like single or double and she gets like the hands together and it looks like she's going for a ride, and Zhang stays on her feet and gets separation. That is going to be a massive moment in that fight, because that never happens to Tatiana. So
Yeah,
I think people are overlooking Zhang in this fight.
yeah.
But
I like it. I like
really
how,
good.
is that Zhang, she has been training, and so either she was training for Suarez or training for Shevchenko, and in both those fights, you would expect her camp would be a lot of defensive wrestling. So either way, and they're different wrestlers, different types of wrestlers, but still lots of defensive wrestling. So she has been preparing for a big grappler for quite a bit now. So yeah,
The physicality battle between these two women is gonna be really fun to watch.
Yep. Did you get a chance to see? I just caught it by chance. Whaley posted a video of her when she, I guess, backstage when she made weight. Did you see that video online at all?
Mm-mm.
It was nothing spectacular, but she just kind of makes the weight, and her whole team's around her, and she just like it. Basically, it was just so much relief and emotion from her. I've never seen this kind of side of her before. She was just like, she's so happy. I get it. I mean, a year out. How long's it been since she's fought? Over a year?
It's April of last year. So no.
No.
Okay. What, you talking about Tatiana or are you talking Zhang?
No, Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang fought in April.
April.
300 was her last fight.
Oh, so 8 months or so. Okay, whatever. It's been a bit. Yeah. So yeah. So seeing that relief, her making that weight and making it kind of healthy, it gave me lots of confidence in Zhang's chances. Because I remember originally, kind of when this fight was booked, I'm like, oh, this is Tatiana's time. We were just waiting, but I don't know, man. She just Whaley's got she has a vibe coming this week, and I like it. So
we'll see. I can't wait for it. It is very, very intriguing.
Yeah, I love it. Lots of super chats coming in. All right, here we got.
Love it. Love that. Ryan, would Myles Garrett be the number 3 heavyweight right now? I don't know, man. Heavyweight is like bad. I don't know. He's a freak athlete. He's a really good defensive player for the Cleveland Browns who basically just asked for a trade. He wouldn't be the number 3 heavyweight right now. So I'll just say that. But he'd be like if he just said like, I'm done with football, like I'm going to focus on my time on MMA, and he spends like the next year going through like the Train Alta program, like I think he would be, shout out Train Alta. A little free plug there. Hey, you're a graduate, so to speak. I mean, he would do well. He might even get a Contender Series fight in like 18 months. Like, Greg Hardy got one. Jesus.
Yeah, he did great.
And he was a bad MMA fighter.
Yeah. Yeah. With 6 months of solid training, I believe he could be a top 20 heavyweight. But yeah, 6 months of solid training, and if he's okay with taking the massive pay cut, come over to MMA.
Come on. Go to GFL. They'll probably give you like 20
GFL, play on Team LA, or was it Team, or what team? He's the East Coast guy. All right, Team New York. Is that the only U.S. teams? Or Team Miami? What is?
There's a Miami team. Yeah, Miami, New York, LA. Is that it? I don't remember.
Chicago? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. All right. Thank you, Ryan.
You could franchise.
Yeah.
They're looking for franchises.
What's more likely, John Jones versus Aspinall, or John Jones versus Myles Garrett?
I mean, Jones. I mean, it's the same because neither are going to happen.
Neither's going to happen. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Super chat from Derek the Dad. Ooh.
What's up, Derek the Dad? Mike, what would be your nickname if you fought? Oh, Jesus.
And your walkout song. I'm gonna add it.
I mean, it would just have to be what the, right?
I think what the, yeah. Mike.
I mean, that's what that's what I was called.
Heck, well, that's good. I like what the.
That's what my football coach always called me. He goes, "Hey, what the?" Like there was no Mike, there was no heck. It was what the entire time I played. So probably what the walkout song. I mean, I think I would go with the Have-Nots by House of Pain.
Oh,
It's a fucking,
all right.
it's a banger.
The Have-Nots by House of Pain. All right, I gotta check that one out.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, like little, is
Slow.
that a slightly deep cut? Is that a bit of a deep cut, or is
Yeah.
that
So if you watched like ECW on like Univision at like 2 a.m. overnight, like they would always like use like deep cut music for all their promo videos, and they used the Have-Nots like all the time, and it's a great song. Like it builds. It's like a great one. Like I think of like if I ever walked out for like a UFC main event and they had me walking from the back, like it
okay,
would
one of
build.
those.
It's a slow build, and then like by the time I get to the tunnel,
Right, you come out a ton. Yeah, you
it
come
picks
out.
up, and then I could go any way I want. I could walk slow, I could skip, frolic, I could sprint, and all of it works. Like it's a great walkout song. So look it up. It's a good workout song. It hits hard. It's a good one.
All right, finding so much out about you. This is great. All right, thank you, Derek the Dad. I like you. No, but you've thought about this walkout song. I can tell because it's like, well, it's got to have the build up because I'm talking walkout song. I'm only thinking main event or championship fight, so I'm getting the long walk. You know, so you have the tunnel music, and then when you come out into the open, yeah, you're thinking. I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
MMA's life. If Whaley loses, does she get an immediate rematch? I would say
So Janjaroba and Jan are booked, right? Is that true? Is that am I
yes.
making that up? Okay.
I would say yes. I mean, I think it would kind of depend. Like if Tatiana just dummies her tonight, and just like this is not competitive, I still think the UFC would try to do it, but I'll say no. I'll say the UFC will want that to happen. They will offer that as an option, but I think if Zhang loses bad, she doesn't strike me as the fighter that's just going to come right back and fight. You know what I mean? Like even at 35, I think she would take a little time to reflect and get over it and then come back. Like I think she would return to a title fight. Does she get an immediate rematch? Do they run this fight right back? I'll say 55-45 no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no, but she's obviously I think just one win away, much like Strickland was. Just had to get one win. Any way you do it, then you're back in your title shot.
Yeah.
So
I don't even think she needs a win. Like I think when she fights again, she will fight for the belt. It's just a matter of when she comes back.
Like it might be okay.
Yeah. And also if Yan Jonan beats Verna, then the answer is 100% yes. She's getting a rematch.
All right.
Because Yan just fought for the belt. So
yeah, we'll see. All right. Thank you much. MMA is life. Super chat from Steven.
Steven, boys, I'm so fired up. I'm also hammered. Let's get after it. I mean, what a guy. Can we talk about Cruz's legacy? I bailed on a date to watch him beat Dillashaw. I was there too. I was at that card. So Steven must be a New Englander. Also, is Jose the new John Morgan? First question at presser. Love you guys. Yeah, for the most part. Like I think if John's not there, they go to either Jose or Oscar. Like that's the UFC. Like there's a certain system like that. There's a certain system that happens at these press conferences, especially with the people. Like they want to like it's the UFC's goal to make sure that every fighter gets asked a question, right? Like you don't want them sitting up there and not get any questions. Now, there's a very real world. Like when I did the UFC 292 press conference, like O'Malley and Aljo and like all the big names like got questions ahead of time. And I asked questions to Mario Batista and Damon Blackshear. Like those are the ones that I asked questions to. But I also went a little bit early because I understand the flow. Like they're just like, hey, can you ask these two guys questions? All right, no problem. And Jose is good. And then they tags in Oscar, and Oscar will ask like the next 2 or 3 fighters questions, and then down we go. And then we get a spattering of all over the place. But let's talk about Dominick Cruz. Let's talk about the legacy. Let's talk about all of it. We touched on it a little bit at the that's the press conference, the preview show yesterday, because Dominic Cruz retired the night before. But how do you, now that you've had a little more time to reflect on it, what is Dominic Cruz's fighting legacy?
The injuries just hurt it so much. It's just take out the giant gaps. If you just go by the wins and losses from WC on, you got to count his WC run too. Yeah, just incredible. Almost by default, I still think he's the 35 bantamweight GOAT. In a division where there essentially are no GOATs, in the sense that because it's been so incredibly competitive. I know Merab is actually on his way to kind of, and arguably has maybe surpassed Dominic, but I think for right now I'm gonna still keep it as Dominic has the 35 GOAT. Yeah, just incredible. I know a lot of people maybe just don't like his fighting style, but I'm always a fan of guys who are just incredibly unique. And no one fights like him. No one has fought like him after that. He changed the game in a sense, using his, I don't want to say awesome footwork, but very unique. Something that was just incredibly unique to him, and no one can really mimic it. And yeah, and just for what he did in the cage, an incredible career, and a clear first ballot, whatever that means. MMA Hall of Famer. And yeah, it just I think we're just kind of bummed because there was no kind of storybook in for him. Just, was it the Cheeto knockout? That was his final fight, correct?
Yeah, and he was winning that fight too.
Yeah, he was looking decent until he wasn't. But yeah, time caught up with him, and just a whole bunch of injuries. And yeah, we just lost a lot, but what he did give to us was incredible. And I just wish he had a proper goodbye in this sport. But I know we'll have a cool ceremony, we'll have a cool video package. You know, they're gonna announce it. You know, he's gonna be all emotional. But I would like to see him, you know, with the gloves on one more time. And yeah, so it's a bummer, but that's the sport.
Yeah. And it's a bummer for Rob Font too, because he's always looked up to Dominic, and that was like a dream fight for him. And now it would have been like the final fight of. Rob Font would have been a trivia question. Like, who was Dom Cruz's final opponent? It would have been Rob Font in Seattle, Washington, of all places. So it's a bummer, man. And I said this on the preview show, and I stand by it. Despite the success this man had, he is the biggest what if in MMA history, because we just don't know how great he could have been because of all the injuries. He was out for years. Beats Demetrius Johnson, then we don't see him again for 3 years. And then he just dusted Takeya Mitsugaki. And I remember watching that fight. I was like, oh my God, that was just crazy. Out of nowhere, just first round knockout, 60 seconds. Just
I'm pretty sure, and Mitsugaki at the time I'm pretty sure, I'm confident he was the top 10 bantamweight at the time. Yeah, she wasn't just there. It was legit competition. He did that too. So,
and then he beats TJ. Like, I know it was a very close fight, but it's so good. It was such a great fight. It was amazing to be there live for it and see Dom walk out, because he was, I mean, even after the Mitsugaki fight, he was out again for like a long time, like well over a year, because that was the Mitsugaki fight was September of 2014. Let me look it up. And the Dillashaw fight was January 2016. And that was a fight night card. That was the main event of a fight night. And I think it was a Sunday night, like a Sunday night fight card. We got a title fight on FS1, which is wild. And then we get the Faber fight at 199. And then he kind of got styled on by Cody Garbrandt. But what you remember most about that is not just, I actually watched it yesterday. Went to MMA Fighting YouTube, and Dominic Cruz UFC 206, 207 post-fight press conference. Unreal. Just unbelievable stuff. He stands up the entire time and doesn't make any excuses. Just loss is part of life. This is how we grow. Like, it was just an amazing post-fight interview. It was 12 minutes. Like, it's night and day what those post-fight scrums were like compared to what they are now. Because what they are now is like, there's all these different media members, and everyone's like, well, I have to ask a question, so I have to get my voice out there. This was 12 minutes. He got like 5 questions, and Dom just hit a grand slam with it. Like, it was spectacular. That is how you lose. It is a masterclass on how to lose a fight. And then he's out for almost 4 years and fights Cejudo, loses that, gets stopped. He thinks it's an early stoppage. Still shits on Keith Peterson every chance he gets on the broadcast. There's beer and the smoking and all that shit. And then he beats Casey Kenny, beats Pedro Munoz, which is a great performance. Mm-hmm. And then he looked real good against Cheeto and then got kicked in the face. And that was it. So, yeah, it's tough because we got to see how great he was great, but I don't think we ever got like the very, very best of Dominic Cruz. And he still is, in my opinion, I'm with you. He's the greatest bantamweight of all time. But Merab's knocking on that door. And I actually think you can make a case now that Merab is the greatest bantamweight.
I agree.
Just considering the win streak he's on and the resume he has. Like, his resume is ridiculous. He probably needs like another 2 or 3 title defenses because that matters in the grand scheme of this conversation. But to me, like, the run Dominic Cruz had from when he lost to Uriah Faber the first time in WEC to losing to Cody Garbrandt is just an insane run. Like, it's just the names are just crazy. Ian McCall in 2009, like, that win in 2009 was a crazy win, beating Ian McCall. Then Brian Bulls, crazy win. Joseph Benavidez, crazy win. Scott Jorgensen, like, that's a great win in 2010. And then it's Faber and Demetrius Johnson beats DJ. Like, he was the last guy to beat DJ before Henry Cejudo beat him, which I still don't think Cejudo won that fight. It's just, he's so good. It's just too bad. And now, also, I will say this, one of the most difficult fighters to interview ever. Because he basically interviews you. I interviewed him once, and it's you just got to have thick skin and deal with it. Because it's always
you got to be prepared. You got to do your research when you come in. You can't just,
Well, let me ask you. That was always like the beginning of his responses. So, shout out to Dominic Cruz. He's the man.
Yeah, and just an incredibly unique personality.
Yeah.
I get it. He grates on some people, but I've always said I enjoy that part about MMA. Basically the weirdos. Everyone comes from just so many different types of the journeys to get to where they are always just incredibly unique. And Dom's just one of those very unique guys, and no one like him. And so, and I mentioned this on the previous show. I just feel bad for him to go out like that with shoulder injuries. Like him looking at those photos of him in some kind of urgent care room, still wearing his training gear, still having his gloves on, still having his wrestling shoes on, still having his knee pads on. Like, he couldn't even take them off whenever he got hurt in the gym. They just had to throw him in a car, drive him straight there, and just that just must have been heartbreaking for him as a human, just to be like, wanting that one last fight, and then just probably one random takedown, your shoulder goes out, and then you're just sitting in the ER going, nope, this is it. I'm gonna have to get surgery. Yep. That's 9 months, if everything goes perfect, for him just to call it a day and just go, type it out and press publish, and all right, I'm out. And that's tough. That's who you are, for so many years. You are Dominic Cruz, the fighter. Now you're the ex-fighter. So, just as a person, I hope he's doing good. And, but I hope I'm looking forward to his kind of this next chapter in his fighting, on camera kind of career. I'm assuming he's going to do a lot more commentary and stuff like that. So, we'll see. We'll still see him, but we'll not see him in the cage. And that's a bummer, but I hope people get to appreciate him.
I think he's about to launch a podcast. I saw on his Instagram story. So,
okay, let's cross the
I'd love
fingers.
to have I'd love to do a show with Dominic Cruz. Maybe we can get Dominic Cruz over at MMA Fighting. We could just he could just challenge me all the time. It would be the best.
And visit YouTube. I did a video on Dominic Cruz a few years back, a little series I call Mixed Martial Arts, and I did a video of Dominic Cruz with his dog Dojo, and I think you get a very good look into who Dominic Cruz is by how he kind of treats and talks about his dog Dojo. It's very interesting, so check it out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you much,
Great question.
Stephen.
Next.
Where we at?
Terrence, UFC almost had a women's card a few years ago. They also used to celebrate Pride Month. Black history is the reason they stopped political. Did WMMA suffer? I don't know.
Okay, well, either way,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out probably more tonight. I don't think they were going to talk about Pride Month during a Saudi Arabia card, if we're being honest. Or Black history, excuse me.
Yeah,
they might do something tonight. I don't know.
I hope UFC does something for Black History Month. I hope the UFC does something. I know they didn't do anything last June. Is Pride Month in June? Yeah, I think June or July. But they didn't do anything last year for Pride Month. They used to before, but things have changed in the world.
I think
so
they did some stuff with I think they did some stuff with Raquel Pennington last year, didn't they?
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember the fighters wearing the the pride colors on their their
that's
fight
true.
kits. So yeah, but I have one of the UFC Pride shirts. I was for not Pride the organization, but Pride Month, and the rainbow "We Are All Fighters" shirt. And so UFC used to do stuff. The reason they stopped doing it, I think we know why, but I don't. Yeah, nothing official.
Yeah.
So yeah,
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, the women's card just didn't come together, and I think that was the last time they were in San Antonio. I think that was the plan. They were going to try to do something, and
they all women's main card. Is that
No, they were going to try to do an all women's card.
Oh, it's just not a women's card. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were going to try to do something. But
was that time the UFC kind of did a themed card? Was it the? Oh my God, it was over a decade ago. The all heavyweight pay-per-view. Remember that one with had Bigfoot. I can't remember that. I need this. There's a dial-up Jose.
I think there was. I want to say it was the day before my wedding. Was that card? I think Cain Velasquez. I think Cain Velasquez fought somebody and just butchered him.
Yeah, it was all fights on the main card were all heavyweights, and they sold it that way too. It was like the super the heaviest fight card ever, But I wish there were more themed cards,
Oh yeah. It was that card. It was that card. It's the day before my wedding because I remember me and a bunch of family members, cousins, brothers, groomsmen were playing poker and watching that card at my apartment. Stefan Struve, LeVar Johnson, Stipe versus Shane Del Rosario, Roy Nelson versus Dave Pee Wee Herman.
Yes.
The co-main was Cain Velasquez versus Bigfoot, and Cain just there were some uncomfortable people at the poker table with that fight because Cain just destroyed Bigfoot. It was painted the canvas red in that fight, and then the main event was Junior Dos Santos knocking out Frank Mir. UFC 146.
Yeah, and watched the promo for that fight, and it was probably the best UFC promo they have ever made. Yeah, so I think it was like this. It was like there's Sunday, Saturday, heavyweights, MGM. It was
the longest fight on that main card was Stipe's fight. It was 8 minutes and 14 seconds.
Oh.
Every other fight was shorter than that. Roy Nelson won in 51 seconds. Stefan Struve won in 65 seconds. And Cain won in the first round in 3 minutes and 36 seconds.
Wow.
Yep. All finishes.
Yep.
What a boy! 13 years later, you try to pull off a card like that with this heavyweight division, and could be here for 17 hours.
Thank you, Terrence. All right.
What else you got?
Lazy Bed.
Lazy Bed. In a way, is Suarez's story akin to Cruz, kind of? Potentially legendary career plagued by injury, kind of poetic if she wins for Dom tonight. Bing rips. That's an interesting way to look at it. think Suarez's story is, I mean, there's definitely, with the layoffs and the time away, it's similar. Suarez's story is like a lot different because of wasn't injuries. There were some injuries she overcame, but it was also like a battle with cancer that she had to overcome as well. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch her doc yet, which I'm bummed about. I wanted to try to watch it before the fight, but I didn't get a chance to. So we'll
I
see.
watched
Would
that.
be a great moment for her.
Yeah, it's a good doc. There's nothing. I'm not like.
Did you learn anything new?
Um, it was interesting hearing from. It's not really about learning things new. It's just kind of seeing the people around her, her family, her wrestling coaches and stuff. Her growing up in high school. It's more about that. It's just the story.
Oh, okay.
You're not gonna really find out like new things. It's just more about her and just that. Unfortunately, the timing of the release. I think it was originally released before or after her last. I don't know. The timing was bad because it came out right after, right before she got injured again, and the title of the documentary is called Unbreakable. So it was like, it was just a lot. Just not good timing on that. But it's a good documentary. It's on HBO, I think. HBO Max. So check it out. I think it's an hour. It's a good watch.
All right.
Oops, lost my place. So I just want to throw this up because someone talking about your walkout song.
Pike would be New Kids on the Block, and Mustache would be Slipknot. Why? 'Cause they're from Boston. Is that a Boston shot? New Kids on the Block. What about Mark Wahlberg? What about Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch? What's up with that? What about LFO, the light funky ones?
You almost take offense to that. Hey, there's more than just New Kids on the Block.
What about Bobby Brown? Bobby Brown's got some fucking bangers. Come on. I'll walk out to Mr. Telephone Man. New edition.
Mike Hague walking out to My Prerogative with the little headset,
Yeah, But don't be cruel. Let's go.
Yeah. Wait, okay, this is a silly question. Is Boston from Boston? They're not from Boston, are they? The actual band Boston? Or is it...
I actually don't even know.
Okay.
You probably should know. The mighty mighty Boss Tones are from Boston.
They are from Boston, yes.
They're from Boston.
All right. Thank you. And me walking to Slipknot? Sure. Not the biggest Slipknot fan, but I respect them. They're good. If you dig them, you dig them. Don't hate it. All right. Thank you, Masters Universe. Super chat from Chase.
Chase, over under 6.5 months until John is stripped. This is actually like, I'll say over.
I'm gonna go over too. I'm gonna go.
This saga's not gonna end. It's just not.
Over under 2026, January 2026. I think it's more. I'll
say they will give John until the end of the year.
Yeah, me too. I think this by the first card, the first pay-per-view of 2026, either John fights or it will be not vacant. I guess Tom becomes the champion.
It should be that way. I will say this though. I don't think the UFC will officially strip John of anything. I think they will paint the picture that John will vacate the belt on his own and not officially strip him. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they paint it like that. It's like, I bring this up all the time when it comes to this stuff. It's like when the Red Sox let Terry Francona go as the manager, who broke the curse. Red Sox won a couple World Series. Like, he'll be beloved for that forever, but his time as the Red Sox manager was over. Like, they tried to buy a championship with like this massive payroll, and they didn't make the playoffs. They lost it in the last game. And we knew that day was going to be the last day Terry Francona managed. And the way the Red Sox presented it was an amicable parting of ways, or they actually presented it as Terry Francona resigned. When we knew deep down, that's not what happened. that they were just like, get out of here. You're done. Thanks for the cheese. Thanks for the championships. We're moving on. But they presented it in such a way to make him look good in the process. This is exactly what's going to happen with John. The same thing that happened with Yuri. They stripped Yuri. Like, they presented as Yuri is the Warriors code. He doesn't want to hold up the division, so he vacated the title on his own. Listen to any Yuri Prochazka interview talking about that. It ain't true. So I think the same thing's going to happen.
All right. Thank you, Chase.
Mike, I've always thought that Suarez is more similar to Hamzat. Been the presumed future champ for years, but illness has always gotten in the way of getting the title shot. Also a wrestler, almost 1-to-1. I mean, to some extent.
Yeah. But kind of like these
challengers. Illness, injuries.
But yeah, just these challengers are like, we're just waiting for the title shot. Yeah. Like when Hamzat finally gets an official title shot, because we're kind of just waiting. And I think like if Weili wins, think how much, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but how much does her kind of legacy change if Weili wins dominantly in a few hours?
For Tatiana's legacy?
No, Weili's. Zhang.
Yeah, I agree with what Jed said on the previous show. So she's one of the 5 best fighters of all time if she wins tonight.
Yeah, if she wins tomorrow, yeah. That's what I mean. Like, she goes from being, a very good champion
women's
to like
fighters.
Women's right,
to 5 best women's fighter of all time.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she's on that kind of, if she wins in a few hours, Weili could be in that kind of Mount Rushmore-ish, whatever you want to call that, of female fighters. So
and then she's probably gonna go fight for a second belt if she wins tonight.
Yeah,
like
so much on the line for her. So much on the line.
She has way more to lose tonight than Tatiana Suarez.
Absolutely,
it's not even close. Like it's not even close. Mm-hmm. If Zhang wins, Tatiana probably will fight for the belt again in her next fight because she'll move up and try to fight for the flyweight title, and she'll either fight for an interim belt or Zhang will vacate and Tatiana will fight Verna for the vacant title or something. So like Tatiana losing, it'd be sad for like her story, but she's gonna fight for the belt again. Zhang losing all the top 5 conversations, the Mount Rushmore conversations, chance to be a 2-division champion, gone. Like that all goes away. So a lot on the line for Zhang tonight.
Yep. Thank you, Mike. Got some more super chats.
Matija. Have you tried any Balkan food and do you like it? I have not. Have you?
I don't. I haven't even heard of what is. Tell me more about Balkan food, Matija.
What is Balkan cuisine is known for its strong flavors, spice, and variety of ingredients. Popular dishes include sarma, burek, baklava, and seva pie. It sounds good. Like I would probably try it. I just never have. I gotta expand my food horizons.
Yeah.
I miss doing the watch parties with GC. 1, because I really liked him, and 2, because I would be eating Tim Tams tonight. Like without question, I'd be eating Tim Tams.
All right. Thank you, Matija. Justin Cash.
Well, heck of a morning return to Twitter. Hopefully. We'll see. We need bodies. It's impossible to do right now. It just is. I don't have, like, if I'm, like, before we were able-bodied, there would be somebody working or able to write up stories and news while I'm doing heck of a morning. We were able to get, like, 2 people on in the morning. We just don't have that right now. So, TBD, we'll see. We are working on some things. We'll keep you posted.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Steve Cruz is the 35 GOAT Casey Pacaporta. I mean, there's no better comparison right there. Like if you're compared to Pacaporta, then I mean, they should announce his Hall of Fame nom tonight.
That'd be great. I'm just imagining first round knockout in the first fight, and then like they cut to the screen, and it's a montage of Parker Porter highlights and Hall of Famer Parker Porter. Yes, I'd be so
I'm
excited.
just so happy that Parker's gotten like so popular. like we have put this man over to no end for the last 4 years, and just seeing his popularity continue to rise
And then he
is one of my
wins, and
favorite
then
things that has
he gets a
happened.
first round knockout. Yes, I was
It's
like, yes,
incredible. Like it's incredible.
so
What
happy
a
for him.
what a freaking guy.
Thank you, Steven.
Fahim, do MMA fighting stuff and crew get
Staff, I guess staff.
a reunion? I would love that. Like I think that'd be awesome.
We used to have pre Mike Heck here, but we used to have once a year and a half we would meet in New York and at the big Vox offices and just have a powwow and have dinner and everything. But it hasn't happened in a little bit. But I wish that'd be nice.
I don't even think I've seen you in person since I started working in MMA fighting.
You've seen Esther in person, right?
I've seen Esther in person multiple times.
Yeah. We just haven't
Multiple
ran
times.
into yeah. They
Yeah.
keep us
I
apart.
just I don't think I've ever seen you. Like I saw you like
before we worked together.
yeah,
right?
it was 244. Yeah, 244 was the last time I saw you in person. That was the MSG card where Trump was there as the sitting president. Diaz Masvidal, and I'll never forget Casey Leydon, the hero. It was that was the week where Darren Till had flight issues and couldn't get in to like the day of weigh-ins, and he made weight, and then he did a scrum on the stage after ceremonial weigh-ins, and I was trying to film it, and one of the security guards at the MSG theater like knocked my tripod over and broke it and did not care, didn't apologize, just walked away. So I had no tripod for fight night. And I let Jose know, and Jose hit you up, and you brought an extra tripod for me. You were a hero. Absolute hero.
Team player. I'm here to help. I'm here to help.
What a guy.
All right. So thank you for him. Yeah. So we'll talk to the big wigs at Vox, and we'll have we'll have a big reunion. That'd be awesome.
I've never met AK in person either.
He's such a pleasure. So Canadian. All right, thank you.
Achilles. I don't know what that is.
I have no.
I don't know who Matanz is.
Watch Matan's interview with crew.
Good stuff.
All
All right. I don't.
Thank you,
will
Achilles.
search for Dominic Cruz.
All right, Felix.
Felix, hey y'all. Much love to you guys and the whole crew. Hey Casey, any tips on how to keep your glasses straight after a rough day at training?
Oh, get contacts or fight blind. Yeah. I wear my contacts for training, and I like to wear them when I'm on air too, just because I don't get reflections on my lenses. But if you don't have contacts, then be like Roxanne Modafferi and just kind of squint a lot and just like become a good grappler. So hopefully you're nearsighted. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real way around it. Yeah, I even try like every once in a while. I'll just hit the bag with my glasses on, but then you start getting sweaty and they start sliding off. It becomes it's no fun. There's no good way around it. Yeah. Sorry, Felix. All right. From the troll.
Good stream. Thanks, the troll.
I appreciate that.
So you're the nicest the troll I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thrill House. Inactivity protected Cruz's legacy, in my opinion. Oh, interesting.
Who did protect it from?
Look.
Protect it from
Hey,
who?
I don't know.
Oh. Maybe still the GOAT, I guess, yeah.
Barao, maybe? Like when Barao was like on that run, perhaps. Like that's
We never got to see that. We never got to see Cruz versus Barao. Is that the fight? We
maybe the downfall would have happened sooner, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting thought. I'll listen to reasons.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree, but
Well, maybe her it protected and it hurt his legacy too, I guess, because he doesn't have I guess he has an incomplete legacy because of the injuries. So we
yeah.
don't. It's a lot of because, like I say, like you said, you called him the biggest what if, even as a champion, the biggest what if because of the inactivity from injury. So yeah, sure.
Like, dude, like just think about this. Dominic Cruz is going to fight John Lineker in 2019. Like, what would that fight have looked like in 2019? Dominic Cruz versus John Lineker at UFC 233. Fight doesn't happen January 2019. You want to know why that fight doesn't happen? Dominic Cruz shoulder injury is why that doesn't happen. So maybe, like, maybe to throw, and I don't want to speak for Thrillhouse. Maybe Thrillhouse is saying, hey, after the Cody loss, maybe all the injuries and the inactivity protected him from having maybe a Ferguson like ending. Maybe, I don't know. But again, he had fights with like up and coming guy. Like he fought Casey Kenny, who was on like a really good run at the time.
Yeah, that was a very tough
Beat
fight
him.
at the time. Yeah, and he beat him.
Tough fight and won. Fought Pedro Munoz. Looked great in that fight. Beat him. And looked really good in the Vera fight. Like, it's really tough to look good against Dom. Like, only a couple fighters have been able to do it. Yeah. Cody was obviously one of them. That was, I mean, but what has Cody done since? Cody hasn't done much since then.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
Cody's.
Cody
that was just Cody. That was
most.
just Cody's night. That was just Cody's night.
Yeah.
Night. That's all.
Like, he was just ready to go.
Yeah.
And then Cejudo kind of dummied him a little bit, but
yeah.
And then Cejudo had the worst retirement of all time. Yeah.
So. Was that the same night? Was that?
Yeah,
was
that was the same night. Where he's like, I'm going to leave unless I get more money. And then Dana shows up at the press conference and was like, yeah, we'll talk to him on Monday, but Petr Yan's about to fight for the bantamweight title against somebody else. Like, it was just, from that moment on, we were just like, oh, why?
I forgot that was all the same night.
I have to go watch that post-fight show. I have to go watch that post-fight show to, like, see how I reacted to it in real time. Because I know 2020 was the year of, I can't believe Henry Cejudo did that.
Yeah, especially like and Dom might have not handled it well afterward, but I did agree with him in general about the stoppage. But his accusations later on, it became more of a distraction and kind of took away from what the actual argument was, that he felt it was a bad stoppage. But I agree that I didn't like the stoppage at the time, but it is what it is. Yeah.
You still won't let it go. It's the funniest thing.
Which is kind of my favorite part about Dom too, because he's, because like, so it's like, petty. And I kind of like that. I like that about the sport. That he's like, oh, you are kind of just a petty, just like you're the GOAT, but you're also like, man, just I like the most
weird, stubborn petty fighter I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah. It's what makes this sport so fun to cover. Like little things like that too, just like these
things like that,
yeah, these little things like it doesn't hurt anyone. It's nothing bad, it's just these little personality traits that these fighters have.
He's just kind of an asshole, and it's okay.
Asshole, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I like it. It's a fun. I think he's a fun asshole. It's like I like fun assholes. Like,
Yeah, he's a fun asshole.
Yeah. Thank you, Trill House. All right, a couple other super chats.
Is Anshul Jubilee being overlooked? Got caught once. We'll see. I mean, I think the betting line is probably a little wide, but I don't know, man. That loss wasn't a got caught loss. That was a
that was really wild.
I got out wilded in there. Like, Mike Breeden, like, good for him to get a UFC win, but he's not like a UFC fighter. Like, he's not a UFC level fighter. He was one of the guys who during COVID, like, was at the right place at the right time, got a short notice opportunity, stepped in, and he's been on the wrong side of knockouts. And Jubilee looked great in that fight, but all you gotta do is just push him and be angry and just bark at him a little bit. And you saw like what happened to him. Like Jubilee just kind of froze up and just got beat up in there. So that to me was very telling. Now, can he bounce back? And like if he wins tonight, then it's just like, okay,
Yeah, it's just
all right. That was just
a weird
he
thing that
wasn't
happens.
prepared
Yeah,
for a guy to bark at him when he was
it's
up 2 rounds.
it's
But
MMA.
that to me, like
Yeah.
that was tough. That was tough to watch because he was cruising to a win, and then if you just push him and fly at him and just fight him angry, seems like you can beat him. So, and
And
no disrespect to Mike Breeden, but Quillen's a better fighter than Mike Breeden is.
yeah,
So I get it.
yeah. You gotta remember, and Mike Breeden came. I'm not in the cage. I'm not looking at this man. This guy was he was going to get released if he lost that fight, and he was 5 minutes away from losing that fight. So Mike Breeden just went like, "Okay, I'm just gonna pull out every crazy pill I can."
He got released anyways. Like he
did?
hasn't fought since.
Oh, even though
Yeah,
he
I
got
don't
the
think
win, he was still released
It was
on
the last fight at it. He did miss weight. So
Oh, he missed weight for that fight,
hurt. He
too.
missed weight by a lot.
Oh,
So that
I
didn't
forgot.
help. And that was the second time he had missed weight. I know the Hernandez fight was super short notice, so I
Yeah,
get that
I
one.
can count that. Yeah.
But yeah, he
Oh,
got knocked out by
I forgot about the weight
Hernandez.
miss. Yeah, I forgot about the weight miss. Yeah,
Yeah.
wait, let's okay. Let's give a little benefit of doubt to Jubilee. How do you say his name? Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Jubilee. Yeah. Okay. Let's give some credit to some benefit of doubt to Jubilee that he was fighting a fighter who came in much overweight too. So
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
glad
see.
he's getting a second chance, and we'll see what happens tonight.
He's talented, man. Like he is
Yeah.
a talented guy.
He earned his way into the UFC. Now he has to earn his, I guess, earn it to stay in now.
Yep. It was only his first loss, so we'll see how he comes through it. All right, what else you got? T-ball Paul. Can Casey do this for me? Mixed martial arts. How do we like our martial arts? We like them monopolized.
I'm not a DJ. I'm not a jukebox.
But he gave you a tip.
I don't take requests. But makes martial arts. I like monopolized. But we don't. I don't. I can't lie to you.
What do you think of I don't know if you saw this, but Ari Emanuel was on Pat McAfee and he said that basically hinted that Dana White and company are going to try to battle against the Ali Act as they try to go into boxing. Holy shit, dude. And
I didn't even think about. Oh, I did see. Sorry, I saw that late yesterday. I was like, oh my god, if they can get their buddy to write one of them executive orders, I don't know. It just, I'm not. I don't know. I'm kind of speaking out of my butt right now because I don't know how that works. But if they can eliminate the Ali Act.
I mean, we knew Trump getting in like takes the Ali Act off the MMA table. Like that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
At least, but now like to just abolish it altogether.
Yeah.
From the boxing side of things, boy, are things going to look different.
Yeah, I don't know I just don't know the legalities of it if it's possible that the president could do that, but we would have to have some lawyers on here. But let's just say they can somehow make it happen. Wow. Wow. I kind of from a media standpoint and just conversation standpoint, I would love to see the incredible amount of discourse that would come out of that from the boxing world, from boxers and things like that. So, man, that will. No, we thought it could go the other way with Ali Act coming to MMA, but man, imagine if it goes 180 the other way and basically the MMA business model becomes takes over boxing. I can't even.
Yeah,
I don't see it, but it kind of blows my mind to think about it.
Yeah, but you know what? They're targeting the right sport media because they ain't gonna write it. They're gonna try to they would rather be on Dana's side. Than,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Dana's on their show. Dana ain't coming on, BTL. He ain't doing a town hall.
He should. That'd be incredible.
So
that'd be incredible.
Mr. Dana White, though, if you are available, any Tuesday, Thursday,
Let's
whenever,
do it.
we'll work around your schedule. But we have
You
I'll
talked
send.
about, hey, listen, you brought up the town halls and in media scrums. You've seen them. You know how they work.
Yeah.
You 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 went into a power slap post fight press conference and just laid into Don Davis after watching the first one. It was funny. That was crazy. Because I heard from Don like right after that, and he was like, "I'm gonna take you and the people's advice. I'm not gonna say anything." And I'm like, "Hey, listen, don't. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I think you're making the right call.
Yeah.
Just let it go away."
All right. Thank you, T-Ball Paul. All right. Got some more super chats.
Steven, boys, I have an idea. When Tatiana wins the belt, she does her thing because she deserves it. At the end, just goes sign Patchy Mix. PFL, from I have read, they've done him dirty. I mean, I bet she would say that anyways.
I think you've been saying that already.
I don't think they're gonna rush to sign him. I really don't. I don't. He is not a free agent. They haven't given him his release. Maybe they'll give him one with like matching rights. Because that's the thing. Like, even with the Aaron Pico stuff, like Patricio Pitbull got an outright release. Because even when they said, like, hey, we're releasing Patricio Pitbull, at the time, it was just like a restricted release where he could negotiate with other organizations. But let's just say, like, the UFC offered him $200,000 a fight, which they probably won't. But let's just say that's what they offer him. PFL could go out and say, all right, we'll match that, so you're staying with us. That's the contract situation. Then Patricio went on Twitter, was like, no. I don't want matching rights. I don't want any of this shit. Like, I want the out and out release. Just let me go and do that. And they ended up doing that. We reported yesterday, we confirmed yesterday, Aaron Pico is officially a free agent now. So before, he was like a super restricted free agent where he had an exclusive negotiating window with PFL. He was not officially signed to PFL, but he could only negotiate with PFL. So the PFL could try to get a deal done within that window, and he wasn't allowed to talk to anybody else. As of yesterday, that exclusive period ended. So now Pico can go talk to anybody he wants. He could talk to UFC, he could talk to One, he could talk to GFL, he could talk to whoever he wants. But PFL still has matching rights as of right now. So if the UFC offers him like, hey, man, we like you, but, we want to just ease you into this. Here's 75 and 75. PFL could just say like, all right, we match. You're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? So we have to think about it that sense. If they do this with Patchy, I kind of think they're going to give him the same thing. I don't know if they're going to give him an out and out release. And I don't know if the UFC, like, I haven't heard of Patricio being signed by the UFC yet. Like, I know it's only been a few weeks, but you would think that would be like a quick trigger signing, right? You get that guy, why wouldn't you just lock him up? But I don't know. So I think she will do that. I just don't know if the UFC is going to be in like this huge rush to sign him.
Yeah, the UFC is a monopoly, and you don't need the best fighters in the world when you're a monopoly.
Nope.
Yeah. If there was competition, like true competition, if there was a true co-leader, not just people that say they're the co-leaders, but a true co-leader, then yeah, maybe the UFC definitely would be going for these clearly, at worst, top 10 bantamweights, or just top 10 anyone that are out there, the best in the world. They want to put him, they want to get him. Yeah. I hope at this point, I do hope Patchy fights in the UFC. I hope he joins the bantamweight division. I've been very high on him forever. I think I have him ranked number 2 or 3 in my world rankings. So I want to see it happen, but business is different than what I want to see. So I agree with what you said, Mike.
Yeah,
he should be
I
here,
want to see how good he is, man. I want to know.
Yeah, and I know he wants to know. All these like the Aljos and Marabs that train of him, like. They're not. I mean, they have no reason to build him up for no reason. They're like, no, this guy's good. It's true. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Just It sucks. We want to see it. I want to see Johnny
Yeah.
Eblen get big fights. I want to see Patchy get big fights. I want to see Aaron Pico get really big fights. I love Aaron Pico. But, yeah, we'll see. Thank you much. What else we got here? Oh, man. You guys have been super chatting it up crazy today. I love it.
You guys rule. Michael, DDP is fun to watch, but he's so unorthodox. It's hard to tell how he's improved. Maybe stamina? Thoughts? He's just a hoss. And he's understanding more than ever how much of a hoss he is. And he's just so effective with it. And the biggest thing about DDP, and even Eric Nixick said this, and I completely agree with him, the biggest weapon DDP has is his self-belief and self-confidence. This dude believes he can walk on fucking water. Like, he believes it. And he fights that way. Like, no one can touch me. No one can hurt me. No one can stop me. And you could just see it. He takes all these guys' best shots and then just throws harder. And you think you have him. You think you have him tired. And that's when he's even better. Like, he's just such a freak. He's such a freak. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm very late to the Dricus du Plessis bandwagon, but man, yeah, I get it now. His fight when he finished Izzy and just like it to me, like I watched that fight. Izzy's just a better fighter, but Izzy lost that fight. Like DDP, yeah, he is not the better. He is. In many fights, he is not the better fighter, but he wins the fight. It's a hard thing to explain, but he does it. And he's done it over and over and over again. And he has a rare skill set. And him and his team down in South Africa, it works for him. I don't know what they're doing. It works just for him. It does. It's not like they have this other, there's not like a whole giant crew of DDP type fighters coming out of that camp, but he himself, whatever they're doing, works for him, and that mindset he has absolutely works at this level. And yeah, he is the champion. He is the best middleweight in the world somehow, but he is. It's just I don't see that style. And 85 just seems like the perfect weight class for this. I'm like I couldn't see like a DDP working out like as a bantamweight or even as a lightweight. And I feel like maybe Yuri is kind of the closest to kind of a 205 DDP a little bit. And no, he was a champ, but the 205 is a little bigger, but so maybe you just can't get hit like DDP gets hit as a middleweight. But I don't know. It works. I don't get it. It's incredibly ugly, but also incredibly kind of weirdly inspirational and entertaining watching him fight. I guess. There's something so,
yeah. I actually think they have the right guy in there with Sean. You're never gonna get a DDP, and there's not a lot of guys who are even close to that. Like, I guess maybe Yuri, like you said, but Johnny Eblen is not a bad one. Like, he's not DDP because there ain't no DDP, but Eblen's like not a bad look, I guess. Because I even jokingly, I'm like, how do you prepare Sean for DDP? Like, do you get the entire Vegas Raiders team like in the cage to just chase him and toss him around the cage? Because that seems like the only way to like get ready for a guy like that. But like, nah, man, like we just unleash Johnny Eblen on him, and like seems to be like what they think works best. But again, you can prepare for DDP all you want, and you can put together the best game plan you've ever put together. But is Sean Strickland going to, once that bell rings, is he going to do that? Like, is he going to do the game plan? Sometimes it doesn't matter. Like, when he beat Izzy, that wasn't the game plan. He just thumped him in the first round and then was just like, all right, fuck it, go.
Yeah.
Just go. Like, the Alex Pereira fight, like, that was not the game plan to go just like, oh, watch me strike with this guy. That was 1,000,000% not the game plan. He got annihilated. And even to some extent in the first DDP fight, like, that was not the game plan. They wanted to wrestle more. They wanted to grapple. They wanted sweeps. They wanted to exchange position on the ground, and it just didn't happen. So I am very curious how Sean is going to approach this fight. Is he going to approach the fight like, all right, man, I'm just going to do what I'm comfortable with? Or is he like zoned in on like, here's the A's, B's, and C's of what we're going to try to do to win the belt back. If you do this, you win. I don't know. I'm fascinated.
If Sean Strickland loses tonight by any means, is what happens to Sean Strickland? Does he ever get does he ever get a title shot against DDP, or does he have to wait for another champion?
I won't say never, but it's tough, man. Like it'll be tough. Because there weren't a ton of people like overly thrilled for this rematch when they announced it. Like after Hamzat wrecked Robert Whittaker, everyone's like, nah, I don't want to see Strickland. I want to see Hamzat fight for the belt. But Dana always was like, no, it's gonna be Sean. And now like you see Sean with the mic and he builds up hype in his own way. But no one was like hankering for this rematch. Like they knew the first one was close, and there are Sean Strickland fans who want it and they want to see that this gets rectified, right? Like Sean got screwed. He should still be the champion. Let's, now all could be well with the world. I don't know. But if you lose, like Sean is a star in the UFC's eyes. Like he is what the UFC pushes for their organization. Free speech. We love these guys. They're all crazy. We get 700 maniacs on the roster. Like this is the fight game, yada, yada, yada. And Sean's name is big enough where like he is an important name in this division, win or lose. Even if DDP just batters him and beats the shit out of him tonight, like he's still a very important name for the guys coming up, the Caio Borralhos, the Fluffy Hernandezes, all those guys, Gregory Rodriguez's, etc. Like Sean is an important guy in this division. A win over Sean Strickland, no matter what happens tonight, matters a lot. So yeah. Does he get a shot at DDP again? Probably not. Would I rule it out completely? No. I didn't think Max Holloway was going to get another shot at Volkanovski, and he got a third shot. So sometimes you just become undeniable. So I'll never say never, but probably not.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with what you said. All right. Thank you, Michael. Super chat from our good friend Last Stand 001. Not 000, 001.
Or 00. Yeah, I want to know who 002 is. I mean, you're the OG.
Or
what do you guys know about Teixeira, the heavyweight on the main card? Go to MMAfighting.com. It's a terrific website. Guillermo Cruz did an interview with Teixeira, who is the biggest heavyweight, at least the tallest heavyweight on the roster. And yeah, you can learn about him, and he's fighting a guy who's much smaller than him. So yeah, you can learn more about it. I don't know a ton about him. He's 8 inches taller than Justin Tafa. So he's a monster. And he's fun, and he gets finishes, and he's a Contender Series guy. But yeah, I don't know like a ton about him. I would say Jed, and I wish I knew more about him. Like I don't want to, beat the Contender Series used to be cool drum, but I will say like this season, from what I watched, like I kind of wish I watched every episode of the season because it was a good one and they got a lot of talented fighters. But like the last couple of seasons of it just turned me off in such a way where like it was not must-watch viewing for me anymore. But seems like he's really good, man. Gets a lot of finishes, and he's a big fucking dude. Like he's a big, tall drink of water. So
yeah, definitely
6'7".
He's getting in because of Contender Series, because his previous, at least the records of the gentleman that he's fought to get to the UFC have not been impressive. But
2-1, a lot of 0-0s, 2-1s.
Yeah.
But let's not rule out and let's not disrespect or besmirch the name of Julio Dos Santos, who was 4-15 when they fought in 2023. Yeah, but dude just finishes people quick in the first round, and this fight's probably not getting out of the first round.
Yeah.
So
if this fight goes to the second round, the matchmakers will be disappointed. They'll be like, "Why come on, you knew the assignment."
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this fight, the placement of this fight on the pay-per-view main card is for one reason only. One reason only. Uh, so now a couple more super chats before we get to our predictions.
Yeah.
Terrence.
Good thing we started early. Jesus.
Yeah, I know.
You guys rule. Terrence, this card is so bad. No one asked about the main event. Who does UFC want to win? Also, boxing. If Terrence beats Canelo, how big of a star will he become? Oh, I don't know if you got Casey. Did you see this?
What happened?
They announced Canelo's May fight.
Oh, it got announced. Oh God, is it bad?
He's fighting William Skull.
All right.
So there you go. If he wins, yeah, it's the last belt for him to, like, I guess, become the undisputed champion, and then when he fights Crawford, it's for the undisputed title. But yeah, nobody cares. I mean, literally, this is fart in church territory when this announcement came. Like Jake Paul fight is like probably way more interesting than this one. Now Crawford, obviously, that's the fight.
That's the fight.
That's the prime rib right there, baby.
Yeah.
And
So,
Jake
yeah,
Paul is probably a double Whopper with cheese, but William Skull is like Art's Burgers and Fries.
White Castle.
White Castle's White Castle
yeah.
pardons a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, there we go. It's just no one gives a shit.
Yeah,
But if Terrence beats Canelo, yeah, it'd be huge for him.
yeah, I got like what are the weight differences? Terrence has to go up like 15 pounds or something. Like I don't know what's.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's a big jump up for Terrence. But if he does
It's
it, he
so
does
quick and so good.
it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
it's just
excited about
the
it. It
bigger
doesn't really
dude
make
against the more technical boxer.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it's still two giant names, and they're gonna be fighting. So cool. Yeah, I don't think if Terrence loses, obviously Terrence is undefeated, correct? That's his big thing.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, obviously he'll lose. I think the biggest thing for Terrence, he's putting his O on the line more than anything. So,
And he's getting. I mean, he's gonna make a bag.
just
He
the
is gonna
bag,
make
yeah,
a
the bag.
bag.
So, yeah, I'm
The
I'm
bag.
a giant Crawford fan. So, I like watching Canelo fight, but I'm on board with most fans. And I'm like, oh, come on, Canelo, fight the fights we want to see. You know, let's just do it. You know, you already have losses. Like, come on, just you're not trying to protect anything. Just fight the fights. But yeah. But
Nice
who does the
fight.
UFC want to win this main event? Who do you think?
I don't think they care. I would say probably DDP.
I'm going DDP too. Yeah, I think.
So, again, more not because they don't like Sean. Like, if Sean wins, like, they don't give a shit. Like, they could build Sean even more. It was huge when Sean won the first time, but they want to go to Africa or South Africa. They want to expand into new territories, and can't really. I mean, you could send Sean Strickland to South Africa, I guess, but probably be better if you had DDP doing it as champion. So that's why they would want him to win.
Judging how the UFC seemed to kind of revel in the fact that the mainstream Sydney media did not like Sean Strickland, I think that I think the UFC would like having Sean Strickland as like kind of a co-main event guy to put on. He's kind of maybe even foreign cards just to kind of they like that controversy and maybe so I think as champ. It maybe brings too much attention to the UFC, but as like a challenger or just a prelim guy, I think the UFC definitely likes Sean Strickland's abrasiveness and whatever you want to call it.
And at the same token, the winner of this fight is going to fight Hamzat Chimaev, and it's going to be a massive fight either way. So, but I'd still say DDP.
Ooh, I'm thinking of that. What's the better matchup? How much.
Oh, DDP is the more interesting fight.
Yeah.
But they're both interesting. Like the whole Jed is like the whole thing where Jed's saying like Sean Strickland has no chance. I don't believe that at all. No. I think Sean Strickland absolutely has a chance against Hamzat Chimaev. He has to survive. He has to get through a round and a half, which is not easy to do. But if he does, Sean has a real good chance.
Yeah. I mean, Strickland didn't have a chance against Izzy, and he did it. We saw it. Like, we came in that fight going, he does not have a chance. And he just caught him at the very beginning. Izzy never recovered. Recovered. And I was watching that fight and like how he even got him in that just simple 1-2. And like, man, cause like Izzy really was not prepared for Sean Strickland that night. He was prepared for a fight, but he was not prepared for Sean Strickland. And he got hit, yeah. And Izzy made a mistake at the very beginning of the fight and never recovered. And yeah, we know what Izzy's going through now.
Sean caught on to a tendency in that first round and made it count when he dropped him.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm pretty confident that DDP is going to win tonight, but I would not be surprised if Sean Strickland wins either. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah. And unless he does it some way we completely don't expect it, he takes DDP down and like wrestles him and like submits him or something. That would be kind of shocking. But if Sean Strickland wins in typical Sean Strickland manner, I would not be that shocked. Slightly shocked.
I think he has to wrestle tonight to win. I think he absolutely has to wrestle tonight.
Well, wrestle in the sense that he needs to change it up a bit, or wrestle in the sense that wrestling will win him the fight. You know what I mean?
It may not even win him the fight, but he needs
variety. You need to change the game. He needs to make DDP think. Yep. He needs, that's what I'm talking about. DDP has to respect something other than the teep and the jab.
Yeah, okay. And if DDP takes him down, it's not just about getting back up. He's got to do something with it. He's got to make DDP think that, like, hey, if you take me down, like, I'm going to put you on your back. I'm going to sweep you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Like, I can be a threat if we take this fight to the ground. Like, he's got to be able to do something because DDP could always go to, like, DDP felt he could always go to that. Like, if he felt like Sean was coming on a little bit, he could just take him down. And sure, Sean would get back up, but it would change the momentum every time he landed a takedown. Now, can Sean make DDP think, like, this isn't in your pocket anymore. Like, if you take me down, like, I'm going to be dangerous too. So take me down at your own risk. That's what I'm curious about. Can Sean do that?
It'll be kind of cool if we get a different fight. We get a very grappling heavy fight tonight. That'd be kind of fun. I would be down for that because like that's something we haven't seen from either of these fighters. I mean, like, we've seen DDP, but if Sean Strickland can kind of win a grappling heavy fight, that'd be kind of cool. I want to see that side of his.
Are we gonna see a fight to the death? Probably not.
No.
Probably not. But that's okay.
We've given up on that one.
Do we have any more super chats?
One more super chat. One more.
Right, let's go. And then we'll go to our picks. If Sean wins, will we see another UFC 229 ugly build? Yes, probably.
Of course.
Yes, we absolutely will. Sean's gonna say some pretty heinous shit. Yeah. But that's okay. That's why people love him. Yeah. All right. Bonuses. What do we got?
Ooh, hold on. Let me get the card up. Where's the card? Bonuses. Man. Performance bonus. I'm going my girl, Wang Song. She's gonna get a finish. Other bonus will go to our boy, the little brother, big brother, Topuria.
They're like, they're like a year apart.
He's older, right? He's like a year older, right?
Yeah, I think he's slightly older.
Yeah, well, I'm going to Topuria, brother, for the other performance bonus, and for fight of the night, I am going to go with. I'm gonna go. I don't know why. I just want it. I'm gonna go Wei Li. I'm gonna go Zhang Wei Li and Tatiana Suarez for fight of the night. That's what I'm going for.
Alexandra is a year and 6 days older than Ilya, by the way. Neither of them are 30. They're both under 30, which is absolutely scary. I will say Topuria for sure. I'm going to say Jimmy Crute.
Jimmy Crute. I like it.
Main event fight of the night.
All right. Ooh, main event. All right.
I mean, I'm just
Shock
City. Just chalking it up here. All right.
Main card. Has Strickland got a fight of the night?
Their first fight had to have been, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess probably. Let me see. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yes, their first fight was Friday night.
Fight of the night. Yep.
No, no. What? Okay, Strickland has a fight. Okay, this is why we can't really judge these things for too much. Strickland got a Fight of the Night award for his fight against Abus Magomedov. I just
No, that wasn't a fight of the night. It was. Oh, no, it was.
it was. I mean, that's what
That was
Tabology
fight of the
says.
night.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That was the worst card ever. Sean killed him.
Yeah, I don't know why they got Fight of the
Wow.
Night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Shit. I didn't know
he has a
that.
couple. He has a couple. The first fight was Fight of the Night. So let's see if they follow it up with.
Yeah. All right. So we'll go with that. All right. Main card picks, because I think the card is just about to start.
Yep.
We'll begin with the welterweight division. We have Jake Matthews, the minus 250 favorite. He takes on Francisco Prado, who comes back at plus 205. This is according to our good friends at FanDuel. Casey, who wins?
Jake Matthews with a solid 30-27 decision.
I will go Jake Matthews by decision as well. We go to the light heavyweight division. Jimmy Crute is back, and he enters the octagon as a underdog, plus 124. He faces the favorite, Rodolfo Bellato, who is a minus 146 favorite. I think Jimmy Crute I think he's fighting for his career here, honestly. I think he needs this to go well. And, yeah, I think he's outside of maybe Zhang Weili. Jimmy Crute has the most on the line tonight, even after the layoff. And I think he has a moment at home. I think he pulls off the upset. I think he gets a first-round knockout. Sydney goes bananas, and that might be the last time they go bananas for a hometown fighter.
I'm going Jimmy Crute, second round, arm triangle submission.
Oh, all right. Let's go to the heavyweights. I think I kind of I kind of teased it. Justin Tafa looking to send the Australians into a nice little fit of happiness, but he takes on the very tall, the mighty Taliesin Teixeira, the minus 156 favorite. Tafa comes back at plus 132. Can Justin Tafa get the crowd going wild here, Casey? Can he get it done, or is this going to be a bad night for him?
No, he cannot. Teixeira, second round knockout. But I would like Tafa to win. I want to see it for the home crowd.
It would be cool.
I want to see it. Yeah.
It'd be cool. I have a parlay, kind of like an over/under parlay. That fight I have under 2.5. So, sure, whoever wins, it's got to be quick, and I don't care who wins. Let us go to the co-main event. We have Tatiana Suarez, the challenger, the minus 146 favorite. More money coming in on the challenger. Zhang Weili, the champion, coming back at plus 124. Man, I wish I waited before I placed this bet, but I'm still going with Zhang Weili. I'm going Zhang Weili by decision. I got her plus 105 a couple of days ago. And still, man, I think she's being completely overlooked here. And until I see somebody go out there and beat her in the year of our Lord 2025, I don't think anybody beats her at 115, no matter, even with Tatiana being as good as she is. Tatiana does it. Kudos to her, but to be the man or the woman, you got to beat the woman, and Zhang is the woman right now. So Zhang Weili is the pick by decision.
I'm a big Zhang Weili fan, and Tatiana's amazing. She is amazing, but she's I'm a fangirl. I'm a fangirl for Weili. So I'm going and still by decision.
Yep. And I do think she will declare after the win that she is done with strawweight and she's going up to 125.
I hope so. I would like to see
You got to
that.
declare it. You got to say it. You got to declare it. Make the call out. I still think you're going to have to wait for Manon, but make the call. I'm vacating. No longer the champion. I'm done. All right. Main event. For the middleweight title, the rematch, the champion, Dricus du Plessis, pretty sizable favorite, minus 215, comeback on Sean Strickland, plus 180. You're going DDP, I believe, right?
Yep. DDP
And?
by decision, 4 rounds to 1. But I don't. Yeah, I'm not expecting fight of the night, but I'm expecting a DDP for performance. But Sean Strickland will he'll be in there, but it won't be as close as the first fight.
I think it will be close for 3-ish rounds. I think it's going to be back and forth. It's going to be one of those ones like, man, this could go either way. And I have made the choice that DDP stops Sean Strickland in round 4.
Stop him.
Stops him.
Come on. Tell me. Play it out. I want to hear this.
They get into a wild exchange. Sean starts landing. He's bleeding. He's yelling and screaming at DDP, telling him to come on. Throws a big shot. DDP lands a counter. Sends Strickland on wobbly legs. DDP tackles him, gets on top, lands some big punches. Fight is stopped. Sean Strickland will probably be pissed about the stoppage. I think people will be pissed about the stoppage, but it's going to be one of those situations just like, ooh, is the stoppage right? Was the stoppage not right? One of those types of situations, but I mean, I could be wrong, but also I'm making this pick on our staff picks because I have a feeling that it's going to come down to this fight, and I think most people pick DDP, and I bet most people pick DDP by decision, so this is my way of trying to sneak in an extra few points. So DDP is the pick, and I do think this fight is really fun. I think it's bloody. I think it's a little bit different than the first fight. And then the technique, the game plan goes out the window in the championship rounds, and Sean Strickland wakes the beast, and DDP does DDP things. Hit the music, get the hell out of here, and enjoy the fisticuffs. I have to now rearrange the room here for the watch party. You guys get to see the brand new MMA Fighting Blue Wall up close and personal. Jed will be here. It's going to be a great time. Perhaps a Australian-themed hat will be on my head tonight. Who knows? The only way you're going to find out for sure is by tuning in at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. No one will have more fun watching this card than Jed Mishu and I, and you will see it live in living color coming up in about 3 hours from right now. So for Casey, I am Mike Heck. Fight beginning. Enjoy them. We'll see you later on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.